All right, so here we are with part 2. Now, back to this problem, or this problem. Hopefully you did this. So I didn't quite do this in the order that is listed up here, but first I found the relative maximums. How did I do that? Find the derivative. drd theta is -2 sine 3 theta times 3. So then I set this equal to 0. 0 equals -6 sine 3 theta. Found all my critical values between 0 and 2 pi. I get 0 pi thirds, 2 pi thirds, pi, 4 pi thirds, 5 pi thirds. I did a chart. I find that I have a couple of relative maximums, but I understand, so we're only looking on the interval of 0 to 2 pi, but I know that there's an infinite amount of relative maximums. So in terms of my derivative speak, I'm just going to say since r prime of theta is greater than 0 on pi thirds to 2 pi thirds, and r prime of theta is less than 0 on 2 pi thirds of pi, at theta equals 2 pi thirds plus 2 pi thirds n is a relative max. So I know this pattern is going to continue because I understand how trig functions work. Symmetry. So there is polar axis symmetry. I can see that because here I plugged in a negative theta, and the cosine of -3 theta is the same as the cosine of 3 theta. So I have polar axis symmetry. Finding zeros, I set the equation equal to 0 and I solve for theta. So theta equals pi 6, pi halves, 5 pi 6, 7 pi 6, 3 pi halves, and 11 pi 6. Those are all the zeros on the interval 0 to 2 pi. Now I want to graph this. This is what my graph is going to look like. It's really hard to plot a lot of points. So, but here I can see my relative maximums that are going to continue to occur if I continue to plug in increasing values of theta or negative values of theta. So that's the process. Any questions? All right. So we want to make sure we understand how to test for symmetry about the pole, the polar axis, and the line theta equals pi halves. It is very similar to how we test for symmetry about the x-axis, the y-axis, and the origin. We want to know how to find zeros, and we want to know how to find relative maximums. I do apologize that that first video was a little long, but let's be honest, the circle of life is very important.